And can you hear me, Miss Miller?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you sound beautiful. You sound amazing right now.
Because we were fine before. So,
Yeah, exactly. Like I could hear you. We troubleshooted everything already before, but I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, so just to reiterate the getting parents to realize the importance of musicianship for our children in today's time. Could you reiterate that piece for us, please?
okay. So the first thing, scholarships. His child can get into college on a scholarship. They don't even have to major in music. They can
Mm-hmm.
get scholarships so they won't have to pay as much money back. Music keeps children busy, and
Yes,
uh, it gives them some place to be with positive people doing positive things.
ma'am.
Uh, some students have been bullied, and if they're part of a band program, then they have friends. And
Mm-hmm.
how in the summers, sometimes we would get some of the friends to come over, and we would prepare them to be part of the band program. And so when school started, they're walking down the hall and they already know people. Hey, George. Hey, James. Hey, Nikita. They already know people. So they feel comfortable in school and they don't have many problems. Even in the middle school level, if they're part of a program, they got friends. They got good. So those things are important. And you can play your instrument till you're 70 years old. And you can play and enjoy your life. And then with playing an instrument, sometimes people get mad and angry and they want to hit somebody or they want to drink or smoke weed or do something crazy where they can get high off music. They can play their instrument so that they can relax
Mm-hmm.
and be more calm in life. So it's just so much you can do with music. And I there's not a day I'm not in a school, that I go, I mentor, I help out, and then I sub if a band director's sick. They'll call me up and say, Miss Miller, can you come in 2 or 3 days or a week? And I go in and I sub, and I enjoy it because it keeps them moving. I can see what they're doing and how they're doing, and I can motivate them to know that the power of their words are important, that love is important, and I just try and teach it all.
Yes, ma'am. And you do a wonderful job at it. And it's like music is therapeutic. It is so medicinal. Um, it can definitely like transmute your thinking and your thought processes. Cause I know it has been many a times when probably I was drained throughout the day from going to classes. And I look forward to coming to the band room because I knew that you would welcome us with open arms. You were like mama to us, like our second mom. And you like, come on in here. Now go ahead and go rehearse your part. We're gonna, kick off, practice in the next 30 minutes. And it's like you always had structure, and it really made us feel like we were family. For those who may have had, adverse environments at home, when they came to school, it was kind of like a relief for them to be able to enter into the band room because like you allowed us to build that positive camaraderie amongst one another and that loving atmosphere. And I just want to be able to reiterate to any parents out there who have children who may need something to recalibrate their focus in some areas, or so that they aren't trying to endeavor into things that are not the best for them. If you were to get them into a music program, a band program, or orchestra program, it'll allow them to tap into gifts that they didn't know that they were in possession of. It allowed them to know themselves more, and I appreciate that you instilled those qualities in us. It wasn't just about knowing the music, but it was more so about you teaching us and allowing us to rehearse within ourselves our capabilities of what we can do as individuals, but also what we can do as a collective. And I think that's the most important part, like you stated previously. So
Yeah,
that's like truly near and dear to my heart.
good.
Absolutely. So with that, also, it's like you were such a strategic businesswoman, Miss Miller. I don't know if people really grasp the concept of that, but it's like you knew and you planned out ahead of time the time frame that we were to fundraise, what type of fundraisers we need, the budget and the projections of what we could make, what was the return of investment and the time frame that we need to invest it in order for us to go on these phenomenal and spectacular trips. These weren't average trips. Like from Honolulu to Tokyo to Nova Scotia to Ghana, like it's so many places that we were able to experience because you instilled that business like mentality. It was like, hey, nothing is going to really be given to you, but you can take it. So
Mhm.
with that being said, like what type of tidbits and tricks can you provide to individuals out there now who feel like they're stuck or they're immobile and they can't move? Like some of those qualities that you instilled in us, complemented with whatever else what
Mhm.
could you provide us?
Well, the one thing is just never give up, just never quit.
Mm,
And um, vision boards. Take a picture of what you want. When we were going to London, England, I had a map of Michigan on one side of the room, and then as the airplane would fly every week, I move it and put down how much money. On the other side of the room was a map of England, and the plane would fly every time we got money. But you got to visualize, and every time a negative thought came, you say, "I can do this. I know we can do this." You just got to believe and don't give up. You don't always know how it's going to work, but you just got to keep on praying. And it's just like the story of my life, the quick thing. I wanted to be a gym teacher
mm,
for the same reasons, to instill this all of this positivity into students. And but in my senior year, I found out I had a heart murmur. Not only a gym teacher, I wanted to go to the Olympics and play basketball, volleyball. Okay, so
yes,
that
ma'am.
was a dream. And it's funny because I went to the doctor. I made varsity first string in on the team, and I'm so excited. I go to the doctor and they say, "You got a heart murmur, you can't play any sports." What do you mean? So that means I can't even be a gym teacher, because you can't be a gym teacher and go to college and be a gym teacher because you can't play any sports.
Mm,
So my fallback was music, and I did minor in music in high school. So but the thing about it is I did go to the Olympics.
mm.
I
Wow,
went as the band director of Martin Luther King High School.
yes, ma'am.
Dreams can come true. It might be different than what you thought, but they do come true. Everything I've ever wanted, every dream and that I've ever wanted has come true. And you make up a vision board of the things you want and you thank God for those things. And every time it's like when you're working towards a goal, and you say, keep saying, "I can do it. I can do it." You're gonna have these thoughts coming. No, you're stupid. No, I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. The thing too I want to mention, music makes you highly intelligent.
Yes, ma'am.
It really does. Playing your instrument, moving your fingers, breathing, and all these things, and reading notes, it makes you highly intelligent. So that's another reason why I push music. Somebody on here got a 5-year old, you put them on that piano. My daughter's uh, graduated as a chemical engineer from Michigan State. She
Mm,
started on the piano. And, a lot of my students that are listening now, or that you may run across in life, they have degrees because it made them intelligent, makes you think, makes you see outside the box and start to imagine things that you can accomplish in this world. And you got to dream, and you got to dream big. Don't dream small. I'm telling these students now, yes, they're giving you, you can go to Wayne Community College free. Don't do it. Go to a university, because you don't want to half step and be at home and start doing other stuff and quit. Go to a university, dream big. Don't
mhm.
dream small, and just keep working towards it. So those are the things, that can be instilled, not through music. And as I said, you might not have heard, that I don't know a band director that I've really talked to about. I've talked to student teachers and other band directors and asked them, why did you become a teacher? And the majority of them say, after they think about it and realize that they did it because they saw music save a lot of people. And we get to have students for 4 years, sometimes 3 years, depending on when they start. But we get to see them and see them develop and help guide and direct them, not to what we want, but what they want to do and to achieve even bigger things. So that's why,
Yes, ma'am. That's powerful. Like just through music alone can allow you to produce parts of yourself that was once unknown. But it's like I think I was talking to Travis Bean, and he said that I can have my horn, but my horn is nothing without me. So
right.
I have to believe in myself enough to know that I can play, the sufficient parts and I can mesh well with the rest of the band, or, I can just be my own person, pushing myself forward. And what I produce through, he said, what I produce through my horn is like the direct proof that I have the ability to do whatever I want. And I
Yes,
thought that's so powerful. And I knew that came from the guidance and the mentorship of you, because you always told us that and allowing us to just bloom into our most beautiful selves through the power of creativity and talent. And I truly appreciate that. That is something that I take with me even through like the military sector. Is the way that you convey a message to people. You don't never want to talk down to a person, but you talk to them like they have the capabilities of understanding what you are telling them, in conjunction with them having the capability of carrying out to be their best selves.
yes,
So that's the power of positivity. And that's amazing how you can just turn a situation because you wanted to be a gym teacher and you wanted to go to the Olympics because you always dream big, and you still wind up there anywhere as a band, director. And that's something I want to instill into people. Like, don't ever give up, you
right.
know, be the
Yeah,
author of your own story. You
that,
have the ability and the capability to do whatever you put your mind to. You just have to have the power of intention. Don't be doubtful of yourself because sometimes we are our worst critics.
yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am truly, truly grateful for your presence here with me today, Mrs. Miller. Do you have any closing remarks that you would like to discuss?
Well, I'm not sure if this point came across
Yes,
because
ma'am.
of difficulties, but I was mentioning how I I talk to students. Um, if anybody that wants to be a band director, or might say they think they want to minister and a band director, you can minister to so many people. You don't always have to talk about God because to me, it's within. And, that's what we can teach students. You can reach so many students, parents, and inspire them to be great people. But I tell students today that you have a power in you that is greater than anything in this world. And if you learn to listen, be quiet, love yourself, and believe, you can accomplish great things. So I think that's important that, people know that, not just, well, I know a lot of times you don't, sometimes people take the time to sit and talk, but you got to make time.
Yes,
You-
ma'am.
uh After school, sometimes a little time during class, like I was playing The Greatest Love of All on Valentine's Day. I was at a school because that is the greatest love, loving yourself, and then I talked about the power of your words and thoughts become your actions and your habits. So watch what you think and what you say. That's powerful. And the power of karma, whatever you put out comes back. You put out good, it comes out tenfold. Put out bad, it comes back. So whatever you do, come, and don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, because whatever that you do there comes back, and everything is going to come to the light. Whatever you do will come to the light. So that's, important.
Yes, ma'am. That, and that's a part of having good character in its totality for self, because okay, you're sitting up here and it's more about a performance of what other people think of you, but at the end of the day, what do you really think of yourself? How do you value yourself? How do you see, like, do you, see that yourself is like this embodiment of being a respected person internally, because that's how you gain respect from others, once you have instilled that respect for yourself, and it's not nothing that you would even have to ask anybody for. It'll just come to you because that's something that you've embodied within yourself on a personal level. So with that being said, I know you've given us some tips about positivity, but what are some things that you do to heighten your inner being and knowing your value and your worth and things of that nature, because you definitely instilled it in us through music. But
Mhm.
what are some things that you do for yourself, that keeps you going, that keeps you so highly motivated, even until now, to where you can just disseminate, a plethora of information to students of all ages and, all dynamics? What do you do for you?
Well, I do transcendental meditation.
Mm,
I meditate for 20 minutes and I pray throughout the day. I thank God for everything that I have. And I I'm a giver. I enjoy giving and I enjoy helping people. And that just lifts me up and helps me feel great. So, it's just what I'm about. I give to my family. I help, my brothers and, different people. And I cook a lot of food and I give food to people. And I just, it's just why I live here on this earth, to do that. And I just feel that. And I don't feel good. Like when my mother was alive, she lived right down the street from King. And I went over there not every morning, like 3 mornings a week, and before school. And then I would go to school. And then when she passed, I was like at a void. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? Who am I going to focus on? I just felt, and then I found things to do. And that's just how I live, and I feel good. So everybody has a purpose. And sometimes you don't know what purpose is, but it's not about the money. It's about feeling good inside and knowing that you're doing something great for humanity in this world. Like I can't go over to Ukraine and help, but I can help people here feel good and be successful. So, and you can give a donation to Ukrainian fund, and you can give a donation to Africa and the relief that's needed there, and you can give those things. But I mean, I can touch and reach people here. Like sometimes when I go, like if I go to a restaurant, I give a nice tip because they don't make a lot of money, and
right.
they're, oh, wow, thank you. And I just give where I can help. I go and pick up stuff from Sam's Club. They bring it out, and I give them a $20 bill. So, I'm blessed because I'm retired. My husband is making good money. He's retired too. No bills. We cleared everything up, so we're just blessed enough so we can help people. So when you feel like you can help and do things to make this world a better place, it can make you feel great. You
Yes,
know,
that's very true. It's like a feeling of self-fulfillment. It's like that feeling of abundance and gratitude when you can reach within yourself to, give something to somebody and they truly appreciate it. But they truly needed it too. It's almost like you don't need nothing in return. You're just
right,
grateful that you even had the ability to be able to give, and you
right,
just get that gratitude out of that feeling, just knowing like, I'm glad that I contributed my part, and
yeah,
I truly admire that about you. Like always, you give to your students, you give to your family, you give to yourself, and that's so well rounded and robust. And I hope people can like understand that balance, because
Yes.
a lot of times with givers, they feel like that they give to the point to where they feel a void because they feel like it's not reciprocated. But why you feel like it's not reciprocated? Because you're not giving to yourself. you know you can't just sit up here and expend all your gifts and talents to the world, but you're not utilizing your uniqueness for you. And I'm
Mhm.
so glad that you touched on that.
Oh yeah, I get my glory from God.
Mhm.
It's like when I retired, I didn't want no big retirement party because it wasn't me. It was God working through me and all of you and all the parents and all the people that came together and made those great miracles happen, because they were truly miracles. And I love for people to see the glory of God and the miracles that happen when you have $20,000 in March, and then in the middle of May you got 200,000. It's like no way possible. And how you can get to go on trips and do things. It's everybody says, how do you raise this money? It's like, and you said mention how I would figure out how everything. I didn't figure out how it worked. I just know if you work hard and you do all you can do, God will step in and do the rest.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing. That's amazing. So it's almost like you just trusted the process.
Yes. 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 Get scary. Because my first big trip was London. So
Hmm.
when it was time to go to London, England for the Olympics, I was like, at the beginning, I was like, I already been to London, Lord. Do I have to go again? But it's not about me and what I want to do. I didn't want to go to Africa.
Hmm.
My husband and daughter didn't want to go. That's one of the trips they didn't go on a lot of trips, but they went on some. But it was like, ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to Africa. I didn't want, but it's not what I want to do. It's what's best for the children so that they can learn the lessons of the world, you know. And that's what it's always been about. No.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's so important that you begin to tap into yourself so much to the point to where you're doing a service that's bigger than yourself,
Yeah.
you know? Because a lot of time we get caught up in like what's in it for me. That what's in it for me factor like sometimes play more of a priority than who you can touch. And
Yes.
by being able to just know that within yourself, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go out here on faith, I'm gonna trust the process, and I'm gonna just allow it to happen, and I know that it's gonna turn out great. So that power of intention integrated into all the things that all the tools that you provided us with allowed for the bigger picture to shine, allowed for us to actually see what it takes in order for you to just achieve your goals. And the most important thing is believing in yourself.
Yes.
Yes, that's so dynamic, and I truly appreciate those gems that you provided me as a teenager, and these gems that you provided me now as an adult, and the gems that you're providing to everybody. I hope the parents out there who are watching, they get encouraged to put their children into music programs because
Yeah.
it can definitely change your child's life. It can
Yeah.
definitely have a positive impact on you as well. Just being able to see, your child go out and perform, that they put in their best, makes
Mm.
you feel rewarded too at the end of the day. Like, I'm glad that my child is endeavoring in something that they really enjoy and is
Mm.
pulling the greater parts of them out. Is allowing it to surface so they can see it and it's not lying dormant anymore. And I truly appreciate that.
And I think it's important because I didn't do performances because to show off. I did performances because when the students went out and performed and people came up to them and said, "Oh, that was great. You were so good." They started to feel good. So it built up their confidence.
Mm,
And the more confident they become, the better they feel inside and
mhm.
believe in themselves and will strive to do great things, not make little bitty, goals, but big goals and big dreams. So, that's what music does too. Also, thinking about just the music, music can make you feel so good inside when you play. The world could not survive without music. Take music away for a day. You can't. It's everywhere.
Right.
And anger in music, you can see, just love, you can see, you know, inspiration, just everything in music. It's just all kinds of feelings that it brings out in people. So it's important.
That's very important and very true. And I want to touch back on and piggyback off of what you said about the confidence piece and when we performed or when the students perform. And I really, take in and hone into that because it's like you are allowing them to have this confidence through their creativity and not just in an image that they want to portray to people. Because sometimes I feel like, especially in today's age, that male and female alike, they always try to put so much effort into the outward appearance. Like, let me make sure I got the latest designer clothes, or let me make sure I got the latest Jordans and things of that nature. And they feel like that that instant gratification that they can gain from others just because of their apparel or what they got on can boost their confidence. But the
Right.
real confidence lies when you sat up there and you studied and you practiced your music and you made sure that you perfected your sound and you made sure that, hey, I know I'm playing what I need to play to be, this pivotal part that my band needs or that, my
Yeah.
peers need. And that's another level of confidence that I think that you put into us that fueled us to be our greatest selves. It goes beyond just this image or facade that, and I think that's like such a beautiful concept to just know that those type of qualities can exist within ourselves to make us better.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, ma'am. And it's definitely appreciated on a plethora and multitude of levels.
Yeah.
Definitely. um, do you have anything that you would like to close out with, Miss Miller?
Um, just encourage children to play instruments because, like I said, it's going to help them. It'll help them with their intellect. Um, if you don't have children who play, you might have relatives, and just support music programs,
Mhm.
and so that they can survive and have the things they need. But what we need most now are students to be involved
Yes, ma'am.
and not be punished because they play an instrument. I got to say this one thing, or two.
Absolutely.
One was, I know one time a boy was on punishment. His mother took him to band practice, but he's riding his bike. We were marching around. He's riding his bike, and he could have been with us at band practice. And then the other thing I want to mention, I remember when I first got over to King, and we were fundraising to go to FAMU band camp, and I came over with one of our fundraisers was M&Ms and water.
Mhm.
And I know Nikita and Kim James and some other students was like, nobody's going to buy water. Water is free. Is she serious? And they took the water out. And go ahead and tell her what happened,
Yeah,
Nikita.
so we took the water out and we were, just saying, hey, do anybody want some water or anything? And it was this guy who came down from the casino. He must have just hit big. And he is it the one with the check. The guy said he gonna come back with the money because it's been two times. It's
Oh,
been
this
one
is
time. It's been one time where a guy came from the casino. He must have hit big because he gave us like a couple $1,000, and we ran in and we was like, "Oh, Miss Miller, look how much money we got! We got such and
yeah.
such money." And then it was another time. Who was it? Kalanda and somebody else.
Uh-huh.
It was a man who had came down and told him, said, "Hey, all right, I got a couple of thousand that I'm gonna give you. I'm not able to give it to you today, but I can give it to you later." And I think the next day he had came and he had brought the money, and we was like, what? He was serious. He
Yeah,
really, you know what I'm saying, kept his promise to bring the money, and he
yeah,
did.
yes.
Hmm.
Love to see children doing positive things. So, that's important. People always support students doing positive things.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Yes.
yes.
That's the most important thing, positivity. And I think the power of positivity is what's going to allow us to raise our consciousness in a unified manner, in order for us to know who we are and what we have the capabilities of doing as a
Yeah,
cohesive unit. You don't have to feel like you out there doing things alone. It's always somebody out there that may have a common interest that you're interested in that can help you catapult your desires and your successes in life. And I truly appreciate you instilling those values into us, Miss Miller. It's truly, 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 molded me into the woman that I am today. And I must give you your flowers.
thank you. And let me say, there are always going to be people who are haters, and they're going to be very negative. They're going to be nasty. They're going to try and stab you in the back. But just keep your eye on the prize and know what you're there for. It's like I always knew I wasn't there for me. I wasn't there for any glory. I was there for the children. So whatever you're doing, just know, keep your heart pure and know you're doing the right thing and the good thing. And they will fall by the side. God will fight your battle. Just keep doing the things that need to be done that are great in this, and you'll be fine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that so, so much. Thank you,
Yeah.
God, so much for tuning in and being with us today on
Yes.
this session. It was truly impactful, truly empowering, and I am so fulfilled and honored that you were able to share this space with me on this fine evening, Miss Miller. You are definitely a phenomenal woman, and I'm so glad that we have crossed paths in life in this lifetime, and you have guided me and given me such pristine mentorship. I appreciate it tremendously.
Thank you. You you just inspire me and make me feel like I have accomplished my goal. And it's just wonderful seeing what you're doing and what you have done. Thank you for letting me be part.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Miss Miller. I have to pay it forward. I was taught by greatness and I have to put out greatness. I have no choice. I have no choice. Absolutely. Well, everyone, you be sure to have a wonderful rest of your night. Tomorrow evening I will have a segment with my brother Norvell Durison, and he will be talking about, parenting, father, being a husband, and integrating all that while he's mastering himself. So stay tuned for that tomorrow, and I appreciate you guys once again, and you take care, and thank you again, Miss Miller.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye. Peace.